Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for this video I wanted to show you a flip through of my completed Disneyland altar book. So if you've been following me along, you would have known that last October, like ending of October, beginning of November, I went to Disneyland in Anaheim, and this is the book that's documenting that trip. But if you've been following me for a long time, you would know that I actually made this book like couple of years ago for my Disney World 2017 trip. But since I was at the Disney World park for like about a week and then only went to Disneyland in California for about 2.5 days, I decided to use this for Disneyland because it was a shorter Disney trip, whereas the Disney World trip just had so much, so I ended up doing a 6x8 album for that. But yeah, so I've had this book like made and everything for a while now, but it just wasn't filled up with anything. And so I used it for that trip. And it's taken me a while, obviously, to fill it up with my California Disneyland trip, but it's finally done. And yeah, I do have a video of like the setup of this book, like when I first shared me just sort of the prep of it, like the after I've made it and like sort of like prepped it. So I will definitely leave a link to that video either down below in the description box or up here in the cards, so you can go check that out. But I do wanted to say, if you did see that video, you would know that this book had 4 signatures in it. But after I filled up the first one, I knew that I only needed one more signature to fill up for this trip. And the first one was really chunky. So what I ended up having to do is remove all the signatures and just replace these two in like the positions that they felt right in the book. And so my spine looks really wonky, but when it sits on my shelf, this charm, beautiful charm here with all these beautiful things hanging from it, will cover it, so I'm not really concerned about that. But I just wanted to mention that I did end up taking out those inserts and just using 2 inserts, and look how big it ended up being. Like, it's so chunky. It's so chunky. Like, it doesn't really kind of, it's a bit wider than what the spine is, if that makes sense. So yeah, so this is an altered book. I used a Alice in Wonderland book for this, like to make this book. I did use the covers of it, but I did have to make a wider spine because I knew that it was going to be a really big book. So yeah, I just covered the cover with this beautiful pink floral fabric. And then, of course, I made this beautiful charm. And in my setup video, I kind of go through all like the pieces and everything of the initial book. And then my cover here, it says here, "When you wish upon a star," which I think is really fitting for Disney. And then I have a bunch of stars, some hearts. I have this beautiful fringed heart from Crepe Paper Maggie Holmes, and this little bow here, which for some reason reminds me of Minnie Mouse. I don't know why, but it does, so I have that there. And that's just my cover. And these are the sort of colors, the color scheme that I'm going for. It's very pastel, very light and fun. And I did use the book pages in here as well, so you will see that throughout. So when I open up my book, my inside covers, they're kind of wonky because, yeah, it's just, this is a fabric piece there that's kind of holding the inserts and everything, and this paper here from Crate. So when you open it up, the first page is like a vellum sheet here, and it has Disneyland here. In my setup video, I did mention where everything was from. This is from Project Mouse. Again, I can't remember the 2 women who do the Project Mouse, which is like digital scrapbooking, but for like Disneyland. But that's what this is. This was a freebie on one of their blogs, and it was just the individual letters. And so I just had to put it together in Photoshop to create Disneyland. And I just kind of sized it for this sheet, and I just kind of put it there because this is Disneyland. And I think my Disney World album also has this, but it says Disney World on it instead. And so that is the first page, and then I kind of left the, like, you know, this is like the intro sheet when you open up a book, and so I used an Alice in Wonderland book, and so I kind of wanted to keep that in here because it was cute. And for this trip, we went for Dapper Day, and my Dapper dress was a dress that I made that had the Mad Tea Party stuff on it, so it had teacups, it had the Mad Hatter's hat and stuff like that on it that I embroidered on it, so that's why I kind of thought the Alice in Wonderland felt really fitting for the trip, so kind of left that like that. And then this is my first like official page. Now the first few pages I actually did dedicate to California, This was my first time in California, so I kind of like sort of briefly recapped our first few days before Disney, and that's when we just kind of did a little bit of sightseeing in Southern California. And yeah, so my pictures will in this first like few pages will be about that. And so of course it's just an intro, and with some beautiful pictures. The sunsets in California are like ridiculous. They're so pretty, and I just love the colors and everything like that. And so I'm just, intro here, and then I have my first little pocket page, and it's just a general pocket page. So of course I have Disney, and then I have the beach, and then I have these little Disney sketches over here. I have a star, and this is actually Walt Disney's star, and then of course more Disney stuff, but it's like general. And then this is a table of contents, and of course I just kind of left it as is. I put this little tag here just to make it interactive, and just to have this pin holding something, because it is holding things on this side. I'm like, you know what, let me just put that there. And so this again is more intro stuff, just a selfie I took on the beach, and then some vintagey sort of Disneyland ephemera. And again, in my setup video, I talk about where I get all of the stuff that I used in here. So this is what I was talking about, just general California stuff. I just had a lot of pictures from the beginning, so I just put my favorites in the beginning. I journaled, like, it's just like a little caption here, but yeah. And I did it date order, so the first, I guess, day that we went to Disneyland was for the Mickey's Halloween party. I made this into a pocket so it can hold the little, the park brochure, and then my ticket that they give you. And this is we drove down to Disney because we were staying in Santa Monica, so this is the parking ticket thing, and then of course my photos, and then I have a photo here of the park all decorated for Halloween and stuff like that, and then this is with the train there, and then I did some journaling, so this is kind of like a interactive little flap, only because I had one that didn't have the train there and then one with the train there, so I just had to do that. So our first day, I guess you can say, it was really a half a day, was for Mickey's Halloween party. We had just the party ticket for the party, but apparently you could get to the park, like the earliest you can get into the park, it's 3 o'clock. So since the party started at 6, we're just like, let's try to get there early, so we have like an hour or two before the actual party, and so that's what we ended up doing. So this was our kind of first official day at the parks, even though it was just a night thing. And so again, this was very short. We did have pictures, but when it got dark, the pictures get really dark, and I'm just like, I'll just put the ones that I took during the day, which sadly enough wasn't what we wore, but it's okay. And so the next 2 days, because that was a Wednesday night, so the next 2 days, so Thursday and Friday, we did a lot of other California thingies. We did go to Universal, and so I have like the Harry Potter stuff here, because I did take pictures at Wizarding World, and this was like my first time really going to a Wizarding World park. I did go briefly to the one in Florida, but that was for like a fright night, and so I only got to see like one part of it, and it was at night. So anyway, so this just recaps Thursday and Friday, which was a lot of sightseeing, Universal, and then we met up with a friend, an old high school friend who lives out in California now. I used one of my pockets, and I just kind of put extra photos here. Again, more sunset photos, because I'm sorry, the sunsets were just so pretty, like I had to do that. And the back side, I put a photo of the Chinese theater, because we did do all these little touristy things. And then I have a bunch of receipts from the restaurants that my high school friend, who actually we're all high school friends. I went with a friend who was from high school, and then we visited a friend who was from high school who lives over here. But she kind of like took us to these 2 restaurants, and they were really good, and so I kind of kept the receipts there in that little pocket. Okay, so this is the first like official Disney page here for the trip. So we did Dapper Day, which was on a weekend, so it was on Sunday. It was November 4th. And so we decided to get a 2-day ticket and just do Saturday and Sunday. And then on the Wednesday night before, which was Halloween, we decided to do the party. And so basically our full 2 days were the weekend of Dapper Day. And so this starts off that. So the rest of the book is all Disney. And so it starts off with this card here, which I was hoarding from my Fairy Tale Club days. Love the Fairy Tale Club. I'm really going to have to go and buy some more things because I'm running out of Disney stuff. And like Andrea's designs are like the best if you want to do like sort of like a pastel-y, kind of non-traditional color Disney albums, because I know a lot of the scrapbooking companies, most of their scrapbooking collections are like yellow, red, yellow, black, and white. And I know not a lot of people like those colors, especially for like Disney. So yeah, I love her stuff. I will definitely leave a link down to her site below because I love using her stuff to document my Disney trips. So I have this card here. It says, "This way to happily ever after." And it's so cute. I love it. I love the arrow that's pointing because the rest of my book is going to be Disney. So I thought that was fitting. And I started all my days at Disney with the parking lot ticket because it's just some nice ephemera to have when you go on these trips, and it's just something you can keep because it's paper and it's, it has like the logo, and then the parking lot that we were in was Mickey and Friends, and just these little things like that. And then of course a picture of, I think this is the back side of the castle. The castle at Anaheim is really, really small, and it's kind of underwhelming, if that makes sense, because it's so small. But I love the colors of it. So that's the intro page, and I did do a tab, so the second day also has a tab, which happens to be the second insert, but yeah. So this is the next page. That's my little first visit to Disneyland Park pin there, and I used a lot of these vintagey Disneyland sort of like ephemera pieces that you can find in a Pinterest board on my Pinterest account, and I will leave a link to that down below. But yeah, so that's just this page, and this page was this beautiful, I actually cut this paper out from the 6x8 carousel paper pad from Maggie Holmes because I loved this photorealistic paper, and I used this cut file. I believe this is the cut file. I don't actually remember because I used a mixture of Wilna Furstenberg cut files and Hip Kit Club. So this might be a Wilna. I feel like this is a Wilna, but it's basically, it says a dream is a wish your heart makes, which is from the Disney song, and I thought that was like so fitting. So if it's not from Wilna, it's from Hip Kit, and Hip Kit, their cut files are free. You can just sign up on their site and you can just download their free cut files. But if it's a Wilna, you probably have to buy it. But I don't actually remember which is this, like, where I think it's Wilna. I'm pretty sure it's Wilna. But that was so pretty against this beautiful photorealistic paper, so that's what I did there. This page, we took a lot of pictures because at Anaheim, if you get a Max Pass, I think that's what it's called, it includes a photo pass, and so you can download all your photos. And so of course we have a lot of photos. We decided to make use of that and get those Disney photographers to take our photos everywhere. And so I used a lot of those here, and so this is one we took. And again, more of that Disney ephemera, and then this says Happy Together. And then this was a postcard that one of my pen pals had sent me a long time ago, and it's the riverboat. I don't think it's the Tom Sawyer River. I don't know what this is called, the riverboat, but I know the island is somewhere here. So I just kind of put this little ticket there because it's fitting. But it's of Disneyland. It's an old Disneyland postcard, and so I just kind of put it in there, and I just kind of made a little flap. Some washi. It says "You Are Magic." I got this from Seuss. She had sent me this, and I believe it's a Hema washi, and it's just fitting. It's Disney-like. And of course, I started my journaling. I did some journaling here, and so that's all this is. This is very hidden. I like that. It's also interactive. I like when things are interactive. So this next spread is it's pretty much basically all about the vignettes in the New Orleans area of Disneyland, in the Mint Julep Bar. Actually, we stopped there like at least twice a day to get vignettes. And to only get vignettes. So of course I have one of my receipts here, and then I put this little ice cream cart from the Maggie Holmes carousel because it was cute, even though we didn't get ice cream, but it's still a treat to get a vignette. And then of course I wrote about us getting the vignettes. This one is really simple. I used this die cut from Maggie Holmes carousel. It says "Every moment is magical when I'm with you." That collection is so fitting for Disneyland. It's very It's very carnival themed, so it's very theme parky sort of themed, and a lot of the sentiments had to do with being like a magical experience, stuff like that, which is definitely Disney. Another collection of hers that is really good for like Disney is Chasing Dreams, because that one was all about fairy tales. I don't think I ever made an album, like a Disney book yet with that collection, but that'll be a collection to make. But for the most part, if anything here is Maggie Holmes, it's definitely from Carousel. And then most of my papers are from Crate Papers Little U, which is like the baby collection, but like it's so whimsical and fun that it just fits really well with this Disney theme. This is my favorite photo that we had taken, like one of the Disney photos. This was in front of the Cars Land billboard thing at California Adventure, and you know, our photographer had us like pose different ways, and so we did this one, and I love it. I love how this photo came out. It was like one of the best photos from the entire trip, and so of course I just kind of put happiness there. And this is also from Carousel. This is on the paper clip, but I just kind of pulled it off of the paper clip and just put it there. It says Magical Moments, and it's just, oh, I love this photo. Love it so much. And I think the rest of this section here is all just photos. So here is a photo of my friend. She wanted to meet Black Panther and Captain America, and like we both gushed over this photo because look how adorable this captain is. He's just so cute. So of course I had to put it in here because it was just so cute. It was like the best one out of all of them. Another little pocket page, and this one has just some photos of just like kind of like randomy sort of photos of Disneyland. This is me. And then of course the animation things, and then I have some star sequence in here. It says Mouse & Co. That's one of those Simple Story stickers. And the back is the same. Again, when they do your photos, they kind of put in little prompts. So they told us to hold our hands out, and little Tinkerbell is in our hands on both here. And then this was the same sort of photo op in front of that, like, it was like a big poster board that has this, so it looks like it's a street and stuff, so yeah. Yeah, it's that one. My recap of our first day, and then I made this into a pocket so I could put the map and some extra photos that we had taken at mostly California Adventure, actually. This was most of it. I think for the most part we spend most of our time at California Adventure because during the Halloween party we spent it at Disneyland. And then I didn't do anything on the back page here because of this vellum. It just goes over there. So that is the first insert, and it's so, so big. Look at that. This one I think is even bigger, and this is our second day. This is like our full second day. This is Dapper Day right here. And so the second day at Disney was Dapper Day. And so again, I started off with the little parking lot ticket, and I have this card from a really old Maggie Holmes class on Studio Calico, and it just says, "This is my happy place," and then another one of those Disneyland ephemera pieces, and then a little kind of car here. I don't know why I put the car here, but it's just, you know, just to accent the page, I guess. This, of course, Dapper Day, and I just did a little journaling there. I put my spare little Disney tickets here, and then this card, I believe it's also from the Project Mouse. It basically says, "I can't keep calm, I'm going to Disney," with a little musketeer hat. I love this card. Another pocket page, a photo here, and then this is a little piece from the Little US collections, and then it says "This Magic Moment," this says "Moments." This is another card, I believe that's from the Project Mouse collection, and it's just Mickey. So I put that there, and then I put a photo back here of the Incredicoaster and the Disney Wonder Wheel thing, and just a picture of my friend. So this was Dapper Day, and so we were both dressed up as different things. And yeah, so these are the little statues that are like in front of the castle. I had taken a few pictures of them, and so these are the ones that came out really clear, and so I just decided to fill this page with that. And this is my friend in her little Dapper outfit. So she did an outfit based on these ears, which were the gay pride, well, LGBT pride Mickey hands with the heart, like the love heart thing, basically that. And those are the ears, and so she wore like a rainbow skirt and all this other stuff. And so she basically based her Dapper outfit on those Mickey ears. And so this is just kind of random photos that I had that we took and stuff like that. And I love this. This was an overlay that I just glued on the top, and it says Smiles from Ear to Ear. It's from Simple Stories, that overlay. This is a Hip Kit Club cut file, and it's like a carousel, and I kind of wanted to cover up this, I didn't want to cover up this like watercolor-y pattern paper. This is from Paige Evans' collection. So I decided to put this white die cut of a carousel, and says leave a little magic wherever you go, or everywhere you go. It's really simple, really cute. Another one of those vintagey pieces here, and I just kind of tucked the Dapper Day Expo card back there with that, so I can pull it out and see it and everything like that. This is a picture of me in that pink, really cute pink dress. The bottom here has my little embroidery of the Mad Tea Party stuff, but my friend's like, you have to take a picture in front of the, at Flo's restaurant in Carsland, in front of the gas station area, because those are my colors. And so I have a couple of photos in front of that because it's my colors. This, I believe, is Wilna, and if it's not Wilna, it's Hip Kit, but I think it's Wilna. A cut file. It says happy, 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 and happy memory. This one here, this page is blank, so I kind of tuck this piece in that I got from Pinterest again, and it's basically some of the Disney princesses dressed in their dresses, but like in the style of the year that the movies came out, and I thought it was very fitting for Dapper Day, you know, because we're all dressed up and stuff like that. So I just kind of put that there. This is just a picture of me in, again, my pink dress, and I wrote "Make It Pink" here. This is a picture of us in front of this casting door. Some more vellum, and I printed out all my vellum using the Little U digital papers, and so that's why they're all really cute. Another picture of me in my dress. I decorated just very simple. This one's fun. I have a matching page for my friend here, but there was this blue wall in California Adventure, and so we decided to take photos in front of it. And I just changed my blue wall to be mint. I just did that on my computer, and these are like sort of like my, you know, when you go to a photo booth, that's how I did it here. And then I just used up all like the scrap pieces of scrapbook paper, like the branding strips and stuff, just to do this little kind of collage. And then I use a sticker from Webster's Pages, and this one says I'm a happy person, and so it kind of like fits. And then I'll show you my friends. This one's my friend's, and so hers, I kept the blue wall because it matched better with her rainbow outfit. And again, I used scrap pieces of paper here, and it says you are awesome. And I loved how these came out. Like, they just match with this Felicity Jane paper that I've been hoarding like for forever. This is from her Chloe kit, I think, and oh my god, it's so pretty. It's like little roses. So the center one, before I get to those, the center is our little Mad Tea Party photos that we took at the in front of the ride. They have like a teacup that you can go and you take photos, and a Disney photographer is there to take photos. So we took like these ridiculous photos here, and I put it in the middle because this is Alice in Wonderland and it's the Mad Tea Party chapter. And I had this little Mad Hatter vintagey thing, the Alice in Wonderland ticket, which I thought was fitting, and I wrote "Sweet Fun," and then I put this. This was from Maggie Holmes's Bloom. It's a chipboard piece and it's really thick, but it's of a teacup with flowers coming out, and I thought that was, the colors matched and everything, and I thought it was fitting. So I love this middle spread. It's so fun. And then again, the matching page of my friend. I just love how those came on. They're so simple too. And me in the teacups, and I look like a child here. And so I wrote "too cute," and I used these sort of mason jars just to frame it. And then my friend, that's kind of, I have to glue that down better. My friend's photo in the teacup, and this one's really cute, so I made it into a Polaroid, and then I put yes, because of her outfit and everything. And then funny photos of my friend here. Again, I used random strips of paper that I had left over to make like this funky little background, just so that it wouldn't just be the book page, and I have some pattern paper showing through. And then I just kind of mounted her photos on white paper and just put it in like that. And so this is kind of like the closing journaling, and I wrote I put a fantastic piece here, and this is life. Made this into a pocket, and again I have some receipts for vignettes, and then the Disneyland guide map, and then another one of these vintagey ticket things, and this one says, this sticker says, "You are my happy." So that's fun. I like the yellow on that page. This is a fun page. At California Adventure, you can go into like this place that has like all these little walkthrough, like I guess attractions, and one of them is the Animation Academy, where you can go and you can sit for like a couple of minutes, maybe like 15-20 minutes, and a Disney cast member will teach you or like walk you through how to draw a Disney character, and they give you paper and a pencil and everything, and you follow along and you draw that character with the cast member. And so the one that we ended up going to was Pluto, and so I kept mine, of course, and I kept the big paper, and I cut off the logo that was on the paper, and then I just kind of fussy cut around my drawing of Pluto, which I think is super cute. And so I just did a little journaling how I love this. It was really hot, and I was, we were wearing those dresses, but I was wearing a dress and a petticoat, and it was just so hot. So it's nice air conditioned. We drawed a little bit, and it was awesome. And I love this. I wish that Disney World had it. Disney World actually does have like an animation academy thing, but it's in the Art of Animation hotel. And now that I know that, I got to stay at that hotel so I can do one of these, or like visit it when they're doing a drawing session, because I really enjoyed doing this. So that's this page. And then the last page, right? Yep. Last page is a picture of me with the Disney balloons. This was awesome. The woman who was selling these balloons, she let everybody take pictures with them, and it looks like I'm flying away. And then I put this card here from the Little You collection that says, "Sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in your heart." Balloons. This is another pocket page, and this pocket page is basically filled with business cards and like backing cards to some enamel pins that I bought at the Dapper Day Expo. And so these aren't Disney official Disney pins, like enamel pins, but they're Disney inspired enamel pins by like independent artists, and I bought a couple. So I decided to keep the business cards and kind of tuck them in to this little pocket page here, and so that's a little card, and then these are a bunch of cards stacked together, and I just kind of journaled what these were. And then the back of that, I covered that one with some paper, and then I put this acetate piece here that says love, just a Heidi Swap square card. And then this card, it's basically a watercolor of Walt and Mickey kind of walking away. This is also from the Project Mouse, I believe, collection. And then I covered this page with, like, this was a scrapbooking page, but I covered it with this this cutout from a Japanese diary magazine, and it's basically like an old, Cadillac car, I don't even know what type of car, with these balloons, and it looks very vintagey, and I'm like, oh, it feels like it, like, I don't know, it just was really fitting, and it matched the colors, so I just kind of covered it there, because this is the end of our trip, and we're leaving, and all this stuff. That's why I have Walt walking away with Mickey, and then, like, the car going away, because it's the last page of the book. And then the back page is just this beautiful cat paper from, oh my god, it's a crate collection. I think it's Cute Girl. I want to say it's Cute Girl, but I don't remember. But it is definitely a crate paper collection, and that is my book. It is so chunky. I actually really like how this turned out. I think it turned out really cute, and I mean, I was trying to go for like a vintage feel to it, but it does, but it's also very modern and like definitely super pastel and fun. But that's why I have a lot of those vintagey Disneyland pieces, because I kind of wanted it to have that feel too, and I was using an old book, so I wanted it to have this sort of vintage feel to it. I don't think it has a vintage feel. I think it's very modern considering what I used, but yeah, so I just think it's fun. It's a fun book, and it's so chunky. And it's so chunky, and it's amazing. I love it. It's so cute. So yeah, so that is my book here. I really hope you enjoyed a peek at this altered book. If you're interested in making a book like this, I do have a class on Big Picture. It's called Altered Book Art Journal, and it's basically making an art journal out of an altered book, but I made this book the exact same way I make the art journal in that class. So like the steps I do to make that book is what I did to make this one. So like putting a fabric cover on it and everything like that. And so if you're interested, and if you have a Big Picture membership, check it out. Check it out. And if you don't have a Big Picture membership, you can actually do a free trial. I think it's like a 2-week free trial just to try that class if you're interested in figuring out how to make like an altered book using the book pages, but also adding all your different papers in it. That's a class that you can take. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this flip through. I gotta go take some pictures of this now because I really would love to have this up in my site gallery, like just if you wanted to check out all of the pictures. So soon, those pictures will be on my site soon. So again, I'll leave a link down below to my gallery if you ever want to check out some of my scrapbooks and stuff like that. But hopefully this will have its own section in that gallery. But yeah, really hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!